Dorothy is bringing the Redemption Tour to the Palladium in Worcester, Massachusetts on September 7th with Eddie and the Getaway. Tickets are on sale now. Click the link in the show notes of this episode to get them. This is the Mistress Carrie Situation Report for August 25th, 2025. Mastodon have paid tribute to the late Brent Hines at their first concert since his death. He was killed last Wednesday at the age of 51 while riding his motorcycle in Atlanta. On Friday, Mastodon played the Alaska State Fair, saying on stage, "We lost somebody very special to us yesterday. Brent Hines, 25 years with us as our guitar player and one of the most creative and beautiful people that we've ever come across in this world, tragically left us. Very, very unfortunate. We loved him so very much, and we had our ups and downs in a 25-year relationship. You know what I mean? But it's not always perfect. It's not always amazing, but we were brothers until the end." And speaking of Brent Hines, Gavin Rossdale from Bush commenting online about the impact that he had stopping him with a Xanax exploration. Saying, quote, "We lost Brent. This is just terrible and useless. What a musician. He was directly responsible for stopping me on a self-sabotage back to the fatally dangerous world of Xanax when our paths crossed that I had already escaped. He spoke about its actual deadly effects and slowing down of the body and barely breathing. I will always be grateful for that advice. This life can be ended in a literal moment. I should have taken guitar lessons from Brent." Iron Maiden lead singer Bruce Dickinson, who just launched his North American tour with his solo band, in a recent interview talked about balancing his solo projects and his recordings and touring commitments with Iron Maiden, saying, "We just got done doing stadiums in Europe with Iron Maiden, so now we're doing like 75,000 people and stuff, and now I'm out doing the House of Blues in Vegas with my solo band. There's different things that happen in that kind of environment, like the club, the small theater, and stuff like that, and it's brilliant because it's really intimate one-on-one. We don't have any problems with scheduling our extracurricular activities, really. I mean, Maiden gets set in stone a year or a couple of years in advance. In fact, with the same solo band, I'm making a new record in January of next year, and I'm thinking about 2027 to have that released and to go on tour and stuff, so we can schedule things around the whole Maiden world, which is brilliant." Mike Joyce, the drummer from The Smiths, has announced his autobiography called The Drums, taken to social media to announce the book, which is set for release in the UK on November 6th and available for pre-order. Details surrounding the book's global release have yet to be announced. The description of The Drums says it offers fans a no-holds-barred view on the band, quote, "from the perspective of the self-confessed biggest Smiths fan in the world." Cheap Trick have announced their 21st album, All Washed Up, scheduled to arrive on November 14th. They also released a new single called 12 Gates. Bassist Tom Peterson says our newest single release, 12 Gates, from our 2025 album, All Washed Up, which is our best one yet. I really love how this song came out. It's one of my favorites on the album, he said. Robin Zander saying, quote, "Just one more great album from the best rock band in the world." Cheap Trick are currently out on the road and have just announced a further run of shows beginning in October. Backstage at the Bloodstock Open Air Festival in the UK, Mario Duplantier from Gojira talked about the progress of the songwriting and recording sessions to the follow-up of their 2021 album, Fortitude. He said, "It took us a long time. We needed that time. I think just to make sure we were all on the same page, making sure what Gojira is bringing next is strong enough. Also, we don't have that much pressure. We're not a young band anymore. We're not like Sleep Token or Lorna Shore, where the next album is so important. We've been a band for 30 years, so Gojira is already an established band. It doesn't mean that we can be lazy. It doesn't mean that at all. But it's very crucial to take the time to bring something fresh and new and powerful." This past February, Gojira was honored with a Grammy in the Best Metal Performance category, nominated for Mea Culpa a Saira, a version of the French Revolution-era standard A Saira, which the band performed at last year's Olympic Games opening ceremony in Paris. And Rob Halford from Judas Priest says he's considering recording an album of Tony Bennett cover versions. Halford, who is a huge fan of the late jazz and pop crooner Tony Bennett, who passed away in 2023 at the age of 96, the 73-year-old Judas Priest frontman believes he's earned the right to make any kind of album he feels like making, saying, quote, "There's so many musical things that I want to do. I was singing Tony Bennett in the shower the other day, and I listen to my voice, and I'm going, do I dare consider something like this? And then I go, well, I'm an old man. I can do whatever I fucking want, and I love Tony Bennett. I was sad, like a lot of us were when he passed. He was an icon and a beacon." Tool guitarist Adam Jones sat down with Hawaii's public radio, talking about the band's performance at last month's Black Sabbath final concert, Back to the Beginning. Jones said, "What a day. It was really overwhelming being able to perform and then watch the show at the same time to watch all the other bands. It was just quite a day. And then a week later, Ozzy dies. And it was just shocking. But I kept telling people it felt like a historical moment just growing up listening to that. I remember skateboarding ramps and listening to Black Sabbath and maybe smoking pot. I'm not going to admit to anything, but where I am now, being on that stage, playing music for those guys, I can't think of anything that I've done that's been like this." Serj Tankian from System of a Down is returning with a new project called Covers, Collaborations, and Collages, a genre-spanning collection that celebrates artistic unity, reinvention, and storytelling. The first single, Electric Dreams, is available now on digital streaming platforms. The new album comes out on October 24th. And the Pretty Reckless have released their first new music in 4 years in the form of the new single, For I Am Death. You could check out the official video on YouTube. Taylor Momsen sang with For I Am Death, "I want the music to speak for itself, allowing the listener to decide what it means to them. The interpretation of the song might align with my own, or it might come from the heart of the audience. Either way, I'm excited to see what people take away from it and what it means to them. Oh, and rock and roll will never die." And Rock and Roll Hall of Famer Sammy Hagar has announced Sammy Hagar and the Best of All Worlds band, The Residency, a hit-filled live album captured during their acclaimed 2025 Las Vegas residency at Dolby Live at Park MGM. That's getting released on October 10th. And that's your sit rep. For more details on all of the stories, check the links in the show notes of this episode. And don't forget to like, share, follow, comment, and subscribe to the Mistress Carrie Podcast. New full-length episodes come out every Wednesday. Episode 272, featuring Rain Maida from Our Lady Peace, is available now.